6 years ago, I discovered the world of online business and I have been hooked ever since. And in the past year, I've been making anywhere between $30 and $50 an hour. And I'm super excited because I want to share what I've been doing with you on this video. Hey there bosses, my name is Gertrude Nontra. If you are a first timer on this channel we talk about freelance business and how you can use that to create more freedom and family time. If that sounds like a cup of tea, hit the subscribe button. I am able to make between $30 and $50 an hour by providing services. And honestly, I think this is one of the most effective and one of the most low barrier to entry ways to make money online. Saying that not because it's easy, but because it's more realistic and you can build up faster than, say, trying to build up a blog and build up passive income. All right, so with freelancing or with offering a service, what you need to do, step one, is you need to pick a skill. All right, so how do you pick a skill? And this is always difficult for people because people are like, what skills do I have? Well, I want you to take a piece of paper, I want you to take a notebook, and I want you to take a pen and write down your skills that you've obtained through your education, through your experience, through your volunteer activities, through just being, even maybe you have some skills from just being at home with your kids. I want you to sit down and write that down because everybody has at least one skill. So write that down. And then once you've written that down, take a good look at that list and see if it falls in any broad category. Perhaps it falls into the category of freelance writing. Perhaps it falls into the category of social media because you've been posting pictures of your child online and people tell you about how amazing your pictures and your captions are on Instagram. That could be a service that you offer. Perhaps you have a knowledge of how to convince people. So perhaps you could write copy and create Facebook ads, or you have knowledge of how to take really amazing photographs. And even though that is not completely online, that is something that you can very realistically make between $30 and $50 an hour for, by marketing yourself online. And so you will sit down and write down your skills, and then you'll begin to think, which one of these could I really offer as a service for people? Now that you've thought about your skills, your skill set that you've obtained through your education and whatnot, and you've picked a skill, the next thing you want to do is build some kind of proof. All right, so we're going to call that step 1A, all right, because it's a sub-step. And so you're going to build proof of your work. So if it's freelance writing that you chose, build proof of your work. All right, and recently I did a guest post on the Work at Home Woman where I was talking about how to start freelance writing even if you don't have a blog. You can use outlets like Medium, outlets like LinkedIn and Facebook Notes and even Instagram, all right, to actually write pieces that you can present to people as your clips or as your samples of writing work. And so it's super easy for you to start creating proof because you don't need anybody to pay you to do that. You just need to say, hey, if it's social media you want to do, you want to walk up to a friend and say, hey, I know you have a business, you have a shop in town. How about for 1 month I do your social media and I can use you as a referral. And so that's how you build proof. If you're a photographer, take pictures, and then that way you build proof that you can show to your potential clients as proof of your work so that you can start getting paid. Now that you've built your proof, the next thing you want to do is to go find your clients, right? I would even say as you're building your proof, you can start finding clients. You don't have to build a whole bunch of proof. You just need to have enough, to show people. And then you want to go start getting clients. I did this video where I talked about 7 ways to find freelance clients. I highly recommend that you go watch this video after this video, all right? And in that video, I do share how to get clients. But the way you're going to get clients, there's so many ways. Now, I would say that one of the ways that I suggest even in that video was to start using platforms like Upwork or Fiverr or Freelancer or FlexJobs to find freelance gigs. However, I will say that usually these platforms are pretty saturated with freelancers who are looking for work. And so even when somebody posts something, it could be that about 100 people are vying for that same post or that same ad, that same job. And so sometimes the competition is so fierce that it's not worth it. Instead, a way to do it where there's not that much competition, and which is slightly harder, which a lot of people would also not like to do, is actually to go out there and find your own clients. And so once again, you could be talking to local business owners and asking them if you could do work for them, or you could be going online and typing in healthcare business owners or healthcare companies in your city. And because maybe you want to start a freelance writing business for healthcare companies, which is something that I do, and so you want to go on there and type in healthcare companies within your city, and then find out who the marketing manager is, find out who the contact person, the appropriate contact person is for that company, and reach out to them directly and say, hey, I have this service that I want to offer, and I was just wondering if I could have a minute of your time to talk to you. And yes, that works. That stuff works. I also talked in this video about how to use Craigslist to find freelance clients. So I highly recommend that you watch these two videos. Alright, so now that you have picked a skill and built your proof and got your clients, now you have to get them to pay you. So make sure you have all these things in place. You have your contract in place. Make sure you both agree to the contract so that you both know what exactly is happening in this relationship. And then when you bill them, make sure that you're billing them in such a way that it makes sense for you. Alright, if you don't want to get paid $10 an hour for a piece of work, don't charge people $10 an hour. And with time, you will notice how much time it takes you to finish a particular project. And so if that's the case, with your first client, you may make a few errors, and I'm like, embrace your errors. But once you know that it takes you 3 hours to do this thing, and the last person that you charged them $30, and that meant that you only got $10 an hour, all right, then I want you to start upping your prices within reason, okay, within reason, and saying, okay, I'm worth $30 an hour, I'm worth $45 an hour, and so this is my rate. And then that way, any client that comes to you that tries to lowball you, you can say, hey, I really value my work, and I really value my time, and every time I spend on a project, it's time I'm taking away from my family. It's time to take that's taken away from the people I love. And so this is my rate, and that's what it is. Sometimes once in a while you may make a concession for a client here or there, but to be honest with you, when you're charging below what you know you're worth, I will tell you this, you will be frustrated and you won't do a good job, and it's just going to be an all-around bad situation even though you're getting paid for it. So make sure you're charging what you feel comfortable with, and if that's $30 an hour, do that, okay, because you're worth it.